Chapter 7. As soon as Astrid and I got home, we heard flapping wings. A lot of wings. Astrid walked to the kitchen window and looked out into the backyard. "Oh no," she said. "The red birds are circling the house." I walked over and looked out the window. I saw at least 10 birds flying in a perfect circle high above us. Then they shot off over the house, toward the front yard. We followed, looking out the bay window by the front door. I gasped when I saw Champagne and Victor standing in their front yards, watching the display. "We told them about the birds, didn't we?" It wasn't a question. I'd told them personally. Why were they outside? Victor tried to lead Champagne back to her house. They ran to her open front door, but not before the birds got to them. Victor and Champagne disappeared in a cloud of red feathers. I wanted to run out there and help my friends, but I knew I would be too slow, too late. Before I could even make my way toward the front door, the birds lifted into the air and shot out of the village. Champagne and Victor were lying on the ground. They weren't moving. Shay, Astrid, and I crossed the street. Victor was the first to move. He sat up and looked around. Then he helped Champagne. They stood up before we even got to them. I saw them covered in blood. "Well, this is bad," Champagne said, looking at the peck marks on her hands. "Bad indeed," Victor added, wiping the blood on his face. He only managed to smear it. "The hot tub!" I shouted. "It's not working," Shay said, horrified. I'd forgotten. "We have to get to the palace," Shay said. "Maybe they've discovered something new." We hopped into Victor's Jeep, which fit all of us, and drove out of the village. We rode along a cliffside freeway, seeing the red birds flying over the sea. They were flying away from the island, toward the edge of the world. "Do you think they could fly to Dallas from here?" I asked no one in particular. "It's possible," Shay said. She was the only other person who'd been to the mainland. We watched, horrified, as the birds flew farther away. Suddenly, the water shot up from the sea in a giant wave that stopped the birds mid-flight. They split off in different directions, heading back toward the island. "Looks like Naoki's watching over us," Shay said with a smile. The wave chased the birds toward us, and then became a still wall of water, just in case the birds tried to escape again. Instead, the birds flew in the direction we were going. They looked like they were heading toward the palace.